And here we are before the next matchup. It's between, well, two upcoming stars, two fast rising stars here in NXT, maybe two upcoming world stars in the future. I mean, Big Sasch, very successful in a short time here. Legend Killer, same story, but both can't be any more different from one another, perhaps. I mean, they are so different from one another, and well, the last weeks in this feud versus RK Bro, the World Tag Team Champions, for Legend Killer might have been tough, but last week he got a huge win. So yeah, and same could be said about the feud between Big Sasch alongside his brother Sasha and the Demon family. You know, last week's might have been tough, especially after he got injured by the Demons, and then coming back and getting a huge win. But so yeah, that's and becoming by his return, becoming Northamerican champion by taking the title away from Des Demon Jr. But they also losing the tag title, same pay-per-view. But hey, that's what you expect. I mean, but anyways, let's get into more detail in the feud. Because it's always about detail. And Legend Killer's feud with RK Bro or Whittle respectively started after Legend Killer lost his biggest opportunity to this point in a North American Championship ladder match against Blue Falcon, and whoa, what a loss that was for Legend Killer. Legend Killer, well, he wasn't the same after that. He attacked Whittle on his return at NXT after the pay-per-view, and well, we don't know why World Tag Team Champion Whittle made his surprise appearance on NXT that night, but he might regret his decision now, but because Legend Killer targeted him instead for still unknown reasons, and well, not just that, but he then attacked Whittle in the backstage area, even though it's backfired on him this time, but it's still Whittle took some tough hits from Legend Killer, and if it wasn't for Legend Killer cockiness, Legend Killer might have won this backstage out on occasion. And well, this all started 6 months. This all started 6 months ago for the ones who want to know. And well, since Riddle's unlike oh no, I was wrong there. Riddle did got attacked by Legend Killer and was laying out in the backstage area, but then in the backstage brawl, in the heated backstage brawl between those two, Riddle got the upper hand after when Legend Killer underestimated Riddle or overestimated himself. Either ways, Legend Killer picked up a huge loss there in this backstage brawl. And then there was the pay-per-view, the last man standing match between World Tag Team Champion Riddle and Legend Killer. And well, in this matchup, Legend Killer was victorious, but after the match, Randy Orton, the other half of the World Tag Team Champion and tag team partner from Riddle, had some harsh words for Legend Killer. Yeah, and well, this lead to a main event, even a legendary main event after the pay-per-view between Randy Orton and Legend Killer. And into this match, it seems like Legend Killer so much has showed us a side we've never seen from him before. It looked like that he has respect from the Viper, from the legendary lone legend, the Legend Killer Randy Orton. And well, it cost him the match against Randy Orton. And Survivor Series, Legend Killer won a huge battle royal, which was for bragging rights, so he got a huge point for NXT. While the RK Bro lost the tag team title rounds to the War Raiders from SmackDown, were also involved. Of course, our tag team champions, then tag team champions and brothers, Sascha and Big Sasch, were part of. And this was 3 months ago. Then we had, of course, Whittle versus Aswell, the next episode of NXT, but of course Legend Killer appeared, tried to distract Whittle and cost him, not just that, but he also successfully cost Whittle the match against Aswell. Yeah, this then lead to a it didn't lead to a match at NXT UK. It led to a Legend Killer being in a battle royal for the NXT title, but for the number one contendership for the NXT Championship from Decimate Senior. But Legend Killer was one of the despite being one of the final three, alongside Sasha and Blue Falcon, Legend Killer came up short on the battle royal. And then it was Riddle vs Kyle O'Reilly. Yet again, Legend Killer attacked Riddle at the following NXT episode, that is. And then it was Riddle with, then at the later the same week at NXT UK, it was Riddle with Randy Orton vs Legend Killer, and Legend Killer completely lost it in a match after Orton's getting involved and tried to talk some sense into Legend Killer. Legend Killer attacked Randy Orton, and both Orton and Legend Killer lost it. Legend Killer attacked Orton multiple times during this match, and Orton then snapped and attacked Legend Killer, which cost his teammate Riddle the match via disqualification, of course. And well, then we had at the next NXT episode, Cameron Grimes making his return after being injured for months, for almost a half year by the Demon Family, making his return against Legend Killer. But well, it was a great performance by the Oasis Man in NXT, but he was no match for the Legend Killer, and well, came up short in this matchup. Well, then we had and Legend Killer had a free pass on NXT UK, but he didn't have a free pass the following week on NXT, where he lost the handicap match against both World Tag Team Champions of RK Bro. But hey, he was all by himself, but he requested the handicap match, so be careful what you wish for, Legend Killer. But then later the same week at NXT UK, Legend Killer once again had to lead a brutal ambush on Riddle before had to face Randy Orton. But in this match, well, Legend Killer attacked even Randy Orton after the match as well. And well, then because of Riddle's injury, it was Legend Killer facing Randy Orton on pay-per-view, but due to Orton's injury, because of the vicious attack on him by Legend Killer the weeks prior, and the matches and after the matches, it was an easy win for Legend Killer. A squash even, in the eyes of many. Yeah. Then the next week on NXT, we surprisingly didn't saw Legend Killer or World Tag Team Champion. Oh, we did saw Legend Killer in the number one contender main event against Sasha, where Randy Orton seek revenge after costing Legend Killer this number one contender match with a perfectly timely placed distraction, allowing Sasha to hit Legend Killer with a knee of glory to once again become number one contender for the NXT Championship. And well, what can I say? Legend Killer, as you all might know by now, then had the following NXT week, which was last week, if I remember correctly. Had it was last week. We had a qualifier match against Maskman, and Randy Orton yet again tried to cost Legend Killer the match for everything Legend Killer did to him and his teammate. But it backfired on him, because Legend Killer prevailed against Maskman via countout. But hey, win is a win for Legend Killer, so he doesn't care about it. And well, huge win from him. And also don't forget what we had earlier this week on Monday Night Raw, in Randy Orton's one qualifier match against AJ Styles. Randy Orton against a phenomenal one, which was before Randy Orton was officially automatically added to this matchup. So yeah, there was no need for this qualifier match. Anyways, Randy Orton picked up a huge, tried to head on a huge win over Styles, but Legend Killer distracted him, almost costing Randy Orton a matchup. But when Randy Orton prevailed over the phenomenal AJ Styles to picking up huge win, and wow, this was a great win for Orton, and he will be in the Royal Rumble as much as Legend Killer will be. So the feud will be continued between those two, as much as the brothers versus the Demon Family seem to continue, with Sasha being the number one, Big Sasch brother Sasha being the number one contender for the Demons NXT Championship, like already discussed. But let's speak about how it all started. it all started 1 month ago, where the brothers, after Survivor Series, got attacked, got ambushed by the Demon family, by the father and son of the Demon family, then North American Champion Decimon Jr. and NXT Champion Decimon Sr. In a vicious ambush, vicious assault. And we heard from the later that week at the Rebirth of NXT UK the response from the brothers to this attack. They said, Sasha said, we're not somebody you can push around, and you mess with the wrong guys. And later the same show, there were number 1 contender match for our titles, because earlier the week on NXT there were number 1 contender match for the NXT UK titles. It's only fair to give us title shots, being two battle royals, which were won by Big Sasch, becoming number 1 contender for North American Championship, or Sasha, an even bigger battle royal for even bigger prize to become number 1 contender for the Decimon Seniors NXT Championship, while Big Sasch, of course, number 1 contender for Juniors North American Championship. And the father and son to Decimon Senior, Decimon Junior became number 1 contender for the NXT Tag Team Championships from the brothers Sasha and Big Sasch. So that's being said. Then the following week on NXT, Decimon Senior ambushed Sasha backstage, but it backfired on him, because for the first time ever, somebody was ready for this ambush and even scared our NXT champion, our evil Satan himself, away. Then later that night, it was champion versus champion, and one of the tag champions, the Lone Wolf Sasha, against half demonic North American champion Decimon Jr., David versus Goliath, and with a little bit of help from the returning Clark, who got injured by Decimon Jr. and taken out of the picture for 2 months, Sasha prevailed and picked up a huge win over the half demon. And well, later that night, Decimon Jr. tried to ambush Sasha's brother Big Sasch backstage, but much like his daddy's attack on Sasha, it backfired on him, with Big Sasch tombstoning Jr. on the hard floor, skull first on the hard concrete. And well, then it was time for the main event later that night, where Big Sasch, champion versus champion, tag champion Big Sasch versus the devil, the demonic NXT champion Decimon Senior, where Big Sasch prevented a good showing, and Demo was so scared that he disqualified himself after injuring Big Sasch. And Sasha wasn't too happy about it, and Sasha was also busy later the same week on NXT UK, where he was supposed to have a match against former rival Roddy, but the Demon had other ideas, uses demonic powers to teleport himself into the ring. But yet again, it would have backfired on the Demon's ass if it weren't for Kyle O'Reilly to get involved and allowing the Demon to toss Sasha back first into the barricade. I'm surprised that his back wasn't broken after that. A painful landing. And well, then the following week on NXT UK, Clark was fighting for a title shot against Decimon Jr. and where everybody banned from ringside, and Clark put up huge upset by big upset in NXT history by defeating Decimon Jr. all by himself. And then later the evening, Sasha defeated Kyle O'Reilly, despite Decimon Senior tried to play mind games with him and get inside Sasha's head, but Sasha was all focused against a very good Kyle O'Reilly and defeated him. Sasha waked up the huge win over a very game Kyle O'Reilly that night. While the demonic NXT champion faced a mystery opponent, which turned out to be the return of the legendary Big Red Monster Kane. The monster was no match for the Demon that night, but the Demon also needed some assistance from his son, so I don't think you can count it that way. But anyways, later the same week on NXT UK, it was finally the two world title number 1 contender fight in the main event between Roddy Strong for NXT UK Championship, while Sasha, number 1 contender for the NXT Championship, squaring off. And so much history between those two and so much hatred between those two, there was no surprise there that it's escalated quickly. And the NXT champion, as you might see, after costing the match the week prior, was banned from ringside, but the son made an appearance and cost Sasha both match and undefeated streak. And for the first time ever, somebody got inside Sasha's head, and Sasha was so shocked that it led to the a similar result on the following NXT episode, where Sasha once again sketched against the Demon Jr., but with much help from his daddy from the NXT Championship, Jr. prevailed over the Lone Wolf, while in the main event, Clark prevented a good showing against the NXT champion, as you haven't seen, and if it wasn't for the Demon's son, Clark would have picked up this biggest win in his early career, and pinning the champion. But and after the match, the Demon tried to send an example at Clark, but Sasha made the save, and this leads to a tag team match later the week on NXT UK, where Sasha and Clark got disqualified not once but twice for accidentally attacking Nightmare, and well, Sasha already said it was an accident, it never could have been on purpose from him, and I think from Clark is the same. I mean, we all know how what great of a guy he is, but anyways, this leads us to the pay-per-view, to our last pay-per-view last month, where we started where we had in the first night a super sweat match for the NXT, for our North American Championship, which was between the challengers Clark and Big Sasch, who just made his comeback after getting injured and taken out of the picture by the NXT champion Decimate Senior, the father of North American Champion Decimate Jr., making his comeback, and in the super sweat match against both the other challenger Clark and the North American Champion Decimate Jr., where Jr.'s anger towards Clark got the better of him, and it led to Big Sasch tossing Jr. out of the ring and making Clark tap out into the Big Sasch pain submission finishing maneuver, and Big Sasch becoming the new North American Champion after just making his return that night. And against two tough opponents. At the second night of the pay-per-view, however, Sasha and Big Sasch quickly lost the tag team titles to the father and son of the Demon family, Decimate Jr. and Decimate Senior. And in this matchup, Big Sasch got eliminated early after a clothesline from Jr. with his signature maneuver, but due to the injury and making his return the night prior, in a tough contest, it's understandable. And then Sasha took an AC Follins match where I suggested an injury and that we had to stop this match, and the main event between Sasha and Decimate Senior couldn't take place, but Sasha fight to the pain, to the injury, and even eliminate Decimate Jr. in a vicious anaconda vice submission signature maneuver. And then it was supposed to be a preview between champion and challenger for the main event, but the Demon made quick word of Sasha, put in his lights out, and when Sasha walked in the backstage area, Big Sasch said, "Hey, I can't be there for you in the main event. I don't feel so well after making my comeback, my return and comeback the night prior. I want to head home." And Sasha said, "Hey, it's understandable. If I would be in your shoes, I would have done the same thing." And that's what the friendship's all about, the brothership's all about. Sasha won't matter, then others would be mad at him or try to stab Big Sasch in the back, but not Sasha, no. He's understandable, of reasonable to speak with, as we found out. And also in the main event, and Sasha was taking a tough beating, despite being pre-injured, as we know now. And got a tough beating since the opening bell, since his entrance. He got beaten up by the Pardon Sando, the NXT champion Decimate Senior, and the son Decimate Jr. And it was more of a handicap match than a one-on-one NXT championship match between Sasha and Decimate Senior. And Sasha got the living hell beaten out of him, and I'm surprised that he's even alive at this point, because the beating he took, despite by being already injured and been to a tough match a couple of hours earlier, it's surprised the hell out of me how tough this guy is, and how close he was on getting a big upset there in this matchup. Anyways, it leads us to Sasha's response after getting through it, and what a response it was. He responded by costing Junior his North American title rematch against his brother Big Sasch the following NXT episode by hitting Junior with his baseball bat. And as everybody knows, title does not change hands without disqualification or count. So Sasha got the last laugh of Decimate Jr. perhaps in this situation. But then there was the Demon family banned for Clark's match versus the NXT champion Decimate Senior, and Clark yet again came close of beating the Demon in this no title matchup, but the Demon prevailed once again, and after the match the Demon tried to attack Clark one more time, but yet again Clark was saved by Sasha, and Sasha even scared the Demon away, but it might have been only to because the Demon had the trap for Sascha in the backstage area in form of his son, who was awaked after Sascha costing him his North American title rematch and accidentally hitting his sister. So a couple of weeks ago in NXT UK. So Junior was more than ready to kick Sascha's ass, but Sascha proved yet again how tough he is in this backstage war against Junior, and prevailed even there, despite being already injured, and could go on in the main and pick up a huge win in the main event, like already captured in his #1 contender match against Legend Killer for the NXT Championship, which means that Sascha now yet again at the Royal Rumble in 2 weeks has a shot against the Demon Senior. And well, but that's not the end of the story there, because we also need to speak about what happened, about Sascha's suggestion. Sascha says he don't believe the Demon being a demon, because otherwise there would be no reason to be scared of him. Anyways, last week there was a #1 contender match for Revenge and our tag titles between the returning Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher, who both got injured by our demonic NXT champion, the Demon Senior. But after a tough fight, Big Sasch and Sascha prevailed, picking a shot at their revenge and another shot at their tag titles, while in the main event the tag titles were on the line between High Energy, Blue Falcon and Clark against Father and Son of the Demon Family, the Demon Jr. and the Demon Senior, and the Father and Son of the Demon Family prevail in this matchup. So yeah, that was last week, and now we head into this match between Big Sasch and Legend Killer. Hopefully it wasn't too confusing with the story, so let's go on with this matchup between Big Sasch and Legend Killer. I can't wait to get started between those two. And well, like I said, things are looking up for both Big Sasch and Legend Killer, and don't forget, both will be in the Royal Rumble. Big Sasch will be in the Royal Rumble because he's an North American champion to the additional rule by our boards of directors, while Legend Killer will be in the Royal Rumble because he won the qualifier against the Maskman last week, like already mentioned earlier. So yeah, that's huge to have. So here comes Big Sasch, Big Sasch, do 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 do. Dun, 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 dun,
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, representing the Blood Brothers from parts unknown.
What the? I think I saw Justin Jr., the former champ. He was still got a rematch with Big Sasch. He tried to attack Big Sasch with a chance he does. As Junior, that's uncalled for. It's already his fellow Demon family member Ember Moon attacking. We are Ripley, who she will meet at the Royal Rumble, and the ref getting in the way of Junior, getting set onto the corner. There's Junior, big right hook for Big Sasch, planting the ref with a close angle. Come on, that's uncalled for. As Junior with wicked big boot for the official. Missed Big Sasch with the big boot though, but still got the better of Big Sasch after unput. Pound slam onto the chair by this half demon. As the ref picks up the North American Championship, tried to toss out of the ring, but Junior hits him both ref and Big Sasch with the chair.